widen that shot a little bit just to see? I've brought Alison's presents just
I actually love this Christmas present. This is a present from
It's a big trolley, so she can
Dermot.
take all the lovely stuff that she procures from the show.
Couple of
bottles of Baileys in there.
It's going to be great. It's going to be a good Christmas.
It's going to be a good Christmas.
I feel bad about my present to you now. Thank you so much.
It's everything I've ever wanted.
It's really generous
Pants with your face on them. Now, it's definitely the most daunting meal of the year, but Phil Vickery is helping you have a stress-free Christmas dinner with his ultimate turkey masterclass. Phil, over to you.
Right.
Can't wait to see what you do.
I need to preempt this by saying, 42 years, not a joke, I've been doing this recipe, and it works every time. And here it is. It just works. Now, this recipe is for a 11 to 12-pound turkey, about 5 to 5.5 kilos, OK? If you want to do a crown or a smaller bird or a larger one, the recipe, all the instructions on my website for different times and cookings and everything else. Now, first thing to talk about is the stuffing before we come on to the turkey. Go on, what's up with it?
No, do you know what? Straight away, I went straight to the turkey and it was so...
It's immaculate, isn't it?
So succulent.
It's juicy.
And juicy and delicious. So
perfect.
Fantastic.
Cool. Now, we'll come on to that in a second. Oh, now, the gravy's quite important there, actually. So that is the
Should
gravy...
I not pour?
No, carry on. But that is from the turkey, which we'll come on to in a second. You get this beautiful gravy out of it, about 3 pints of it.
Really?
We're cooking the turkey's way. Right, stuffing first. Now, I'm a bit retro this year. In here, I got, rather than using sausage meat, because sometimes we use sausage meat, whether it's bacon, whatever, everything sausage is. So here I'm using minced belly pork. Ooh. Just a bit different. I have done it with minced brown turkey, which is turkey legs. Works really well. Bit of onion. And I've also got a bit of chopped liver in there. That's a complete optional extra. If you make a pâté de champagne from France, that sort of stuff, or a potted meat in England, we use liver to give it a nice savoury background. It makes the stuffing beautiful. Now, on top of that, I've got vat-packed chestnuts, so you can get them in cans as well. They are a bit of a pain to do, so the vat-packed ones are really, really cool. In they go. Bit of fresh sage into there. 2 eggs that binds the whole thing together. And now, also, I add a few breadcrumbs. So here I'm using a well-known stuffing company. I'm not going to mention the name. 4 letters. One begins with P, one begins with O, N begins with O. But that gives it a nice background sage flavour as well, if you want to do it. Normal breadcrumbs would be absolutely fine, or even fresh breadcrumbs. In those go. You mix that up, OK, until you get a nice, what we call farce or a paste, and then you can either stuff the bird whole, like we do, or over here, I've actually popped it into, like yours there. I've done it into a tray bake.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Does that change the cooking time if you stuff the bird?
Not the way I do it, no. It'll still cook.
But traditionally it would?
Correct. It would do, because traditionally, there are 2 stuffings. There's one they stuffed in the cavity and one you put in the neck, and they were different. So you had a bit of stuffing from each one when I was growing up, but now, obviously, it's just in the cavity. And also, if you want to, you can put it into foil, rolled up foil.
That's a good idea.
It's a sausage. Now, this comes on to a bit of a question we'll have later on. I cooked this the day before. It's absolutely fine. Slice it up in the microwave, back in the oven, covered with a touch of water and a bit of foil. It's absolutely fine. So the stuffing's really up to you. Now, turkey. This is really important that I explain this here.
Here we go.
OK. As I said, this is about 11.5-pound turkey, stuffed with stuffing. Here, this should be boiling water, but for purpose of demonstration. So you put in roughly a pint of water, depending on how deep your tray is. OK, imagine that's boiling. Then I add a pint of wine, OK, white wine. Now, that's an optional extra. You can just use water. I do it because it gives your gravy, which has wine in it, a nice background flavour. In that goes. Now, basically, you're just putting liquid into it. Any liquid will do. And I do add, because we are going to make a gravy from the end result of the stock over there, 2 stock cubes that go into the base as well.
It's so easy, isn't it? Just bang it all in.
No salt, no pepper, nothing. All right, now, what you then need to use a piece of greaseproof paper or baking parchment. And the reason why I put this on here is that just creates a seal between the turkey and the foil, so it doesn't actually stick. Sometimes just a bit of foil, it's a bit tight. You lift the foil off, it will pull the skin away from the thing. So, cosmetically, it doesn't look very good. Double layer of foil, OK, and it's like a lot. Double layer, this is really important. What you then need to do is to cover the bird completely, right down, and then just scrunch that round to start with on that lip of that tray.
This is the important
This is the most important point here. And then you want to, I can't emphasise this enough, you squeeze down there, you see that? You want to squeeze that right so it's really tight around the lip of the tray.
You don't want any steam coming out of that at all?
You got nothing.
No holes in it, nothing.
Now, sometimes, if the steam does escape, all you need to do is just cook that for a little bit longer. It'll take a bit longer, but it will still have the same effect. Sometimes the legs will ping open because the tendons contract. Don't worry about that. You might need to cook that for just a bit longer.
OK.
OK.
But don't put more...
No. Just make sure... I'll turn that round so you can see that. That is really important. Then, if you have a gas hob like this, you put that tray directly on the gas, turn the gas on, OK?
Oh, I haven't got one of these.
No, hang on. If you're in an induction oven, use boiling water.
Yeah.
It will take longer to cook in the oven, but you'll still get the same effect.
OK.
Now, if you've got a gas stove like I have here, once that's boiling, OK, you leave it for 5 minutes. Don't deviate. You must be 5 minutes to get the initial heat into it. In this oven here, this is 200 degrees centigrade, gas 6. That needs to preheat as well. So when that's boiling, imagine that's been boiling now, that goes straight into there.
So how do we know it's boiling?
You'll hear it bubbling.
OK.
You'll hear it bubbling.
Yeah.
Once it's bubbling, let it bubble for 5 minutes.
Only 5 minutes?
5 minutes, because you get that initial heat into it. As soon as you transfer it into there, because that's hot enough, that'll keep it simmering.
Right.
That's
so you're steaming the bird.
You're steaming the bird. Then, after about an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, depending on your oven, because some ovens aren't calibrated, you see the steam come out of that there, you then take it out carefully, because you do have a lot of liquid in there, which is very, very hot. I'll just pop that on here.
Oh, there's loads. It's coming out.
Now, you then need to turn this oven up, or the oven, up to as hot as it will go. Probably about 260, something like that. While that's doing that, I'll just show you here. You then take this off carefully.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
See what you mean.
Now, you can see
Look
there.
at that gravy.
So that stopped it sticking. The gravy's amazing. Look at that. OK? And then, either with oil, or I've got a little bit of butter here, just paint that onto there. You can see it hasn't broken at all. But I want to just show you this here. You'll see, look at that. That's moisture in there. Look at it, it's coming out. All right, it's really important. You butter or oil this. You then put that back into the oven and brown that for about 15 to 20 minutes. Take it out, take the juice off. That's your gravy, strain it.
So you still put it back in there with the gravy in there?
So you take the gravy off.
Yeah.
OK, that goes back in the oven, in the hot oven, and that will brown that in 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
20 minutes, because it's hot already, remember.
So how long are you cooking the bird for?
2.5 hours maximum. OK, you then take that out, because the gravy's in there now. We'll come on to that in a second. Cover it with foil, tea towel on top, and leave it. That'll keep it hot for an hour, at least an hour. The juice...
It will keep it hot, or you need to keep it...
No, it'll keep hot on the side, no problem at all.
Right.
Absolutely.
So you need to let it rest for an hour?
Yes. And so then you get this beautiful juice here. We'll take the fat off and you thicken that with a bit of corn flour, a few gravy granules if you want, and that gives you that beautiful gravy. So all that juice, all that beautiful flavour has come out of there. OK. Now, once that's actually rested for an hour, this is how it came out. Now, I've covered mine in a bit of cling film here, just to show you there. Look at that.
It's so crispy.
It is. Now, this has been cooked for an hour at least, or rested for an hour. Dermot, I know you like that.
Leave that. I can't eat that on television. I'll get sacked.
Now, so here, I'm going to show you this.
You don't want to see me eating a wing on TV.
So with a sharp knife, let me just cut this open.
Got a nice thing to look at.
And you'll see... Look at that.
Oh,
look at that.
Look at that.
And you can look at the juice right out there. That is because it's rested, and it works every time. But I can't stress enough, it must be sealed, and the oven must be there, and it must be boiling for 5 minutes.
Right.
And that will end up perfect every time. And I say 10 o'clock raw, 1 o'clock, as I said to Gary, eating lunch. There you go. What do you reckon?
That's incredible.
It's unbelievable.
I'm going to try it this year.
Got a few questions. Are you going to do it?
Yeah, I'm going to have a go.
Because I'm not cooking this year. That's
I'm doing
great.
it.
A crown cooks in an hour, maximum, hour and 20 minutes.
I know, but a crown's an abomination. You have to have the legs and...
and the wings.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
I'm glad you said that, not me.
Jade, what can I prep ahead? What items are OK to make ahead of the day and what items are best on the day? Only have a small oven.
Cool, right. Make the stuffing, put it in the bird, put it in the fridge. I cook all my vegetables the day before, including my roast potatoes and the stuffing.
You do your roast potatoes the day before?
Yeah. And trust me, make the day before. Now, you put them in hot oven the next day, they go even crispier and they're even nicer. So there you go. All the vegetables, the sauce, apart from the gravy. And
how do you reheat?
Itself,
What, you just in the...
Whack them in the oven, yeah.
Right.
Quickly, Alison wants to know another way to cook sprouts that everyone's going to love.
I cook my sprouts. I like them slightly overcooked. I don't tend to put too much bacon on them. I use a little bit of onion, a bit of ginger. I put, when they're cooked, a spoonful of mango chutney and a spoonful of creme fraiche. Beautiful. It's a seasoning. Delicious. Sweet and
wow.
Yep.
You are a genius.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
You are.
You are.
Thank you. But
My
everyone keeps asking you about this recipe. They love it.
I get 250,000 hits on my website every year, people watching it.
Unbelievable.
Well
Thank you,
done,
Phil.
Phil.
Trust me, it works.
Couldn't be happier.
Listen, for all details of today's recipes and more delicious ideas from our chefs, all you need to do is download our This Morning app.
All right.